Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the latest Dallas Cowboys trade rumors that have fans buzzing and insiders talking. The NFL trade deadline is fast approaching, and the Cowboys are at a crossroads that could define the rest of their season and perhaps the direction of the franchise for years to come. Reports from Yahoo Sports have sparked intense speculation that owner Jerry Jones may be preparing for something massive, something that could shake up the entire NFL landscape. As the team continues to battle through a rocky start, the big question on everyone's mind is simple: will Jerry Jones and the Cowboys finally make the blockbuster move fans have been begging for, or will they once again stand pat as the season slips away? At 2-3-1, the Dallas Cowboys have been frustratingly inconsistent, and it's become painfully clear that the defense, once the pride of this organization, is nowhere near the dominant force it used to be. Without Micah Parsons anchoring that unit, the cracks are starting to show. Missed tackles, poor gap discipline, and a lack of pressure on opposing quarterbacks have turned what was once a nightmare defense into a serious liability. If this team truly wants to turn things around and claw its way back into playoff contention, something drastic has to happen. And according to Yahoo Sports insider Charles Robinson, that something could come in the form of a blockbuster trade before the November 4th deadline. Jerry Jones has made no secret of his intentions. The longtime Cowboys owner has publicly stated that the team will explore all trade options leading up to the deadline, leaving fans and analysts to wonder just how aggressive Dallas might get. But behind the scenes, things are a little more complicated. Sources say the Cowboys' approach will depend heavily on how they perform over the next 3 games. If the team spirals further and falls out of playoff contention, it's likely Jones won't make any major moves at all. But if the Cowboys manage to steady the ship and stay in the hunt, then the door could open to something truly big, the kind of move that could redefine their season overnight. Robinson's report specifically mentions 2 superstar names that have caught the attention of the Cowboys front office: Tennessee Titans defensive tackle Jeffery Simmons and Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. Both are elite talents capable of transforming a defense instantly. Simmons is a wrecking ball in the middle, a player who can dominate the line of scrimmage, collapse pockets, and eat up double teams. Meanwhile, Hendrickson is one of the most underrated pass rushers in the league, with relentless energy and the ability to change games off the edge. If the Cowboys somehow manage to land either of them, it would be a statement move, a signal to the rest of the NFL that Dallas isn't giving up on this season just yet. Now, multiple league sources told Yahoo Sports that Jerry Jones is indeed listening for a plus-size talent. In other words, he's not interested in a small patch fix or a rotational guy. He wants a difference maker. A player who can elevate the defense immediately, someone who can fill the void left by Parsons and bring back that fear factor opponents used to have when facing Dallas. According to Robinson, Hendrickson's market value is believed to be somewhere around a second-round pick, maybe a third-rounder plus an extra day 3 pick if negotiations stretch. That's a fairly reasonable price for a top-tier edge rusher. On the other hand, Simmons would be far more expensive. Tennessee is reportedly valuing him at a first-round pick and additional assets. That's a steep price, but it's not unrealistic for a player of Simmons' caliber. The problem, though, is that neither player might actually be available. That's where the frustration for Cowboys fans begins. The Titans have repeatedly hinted that they're not planning to move Jeffery Simmons, even as rumors swirl that the team could be entering a rebuild. He's simply too valuable, too dominant, and too young for Tennessee to part with easily. Meanwhile, over in Cincinnati, things have shifted dramatically in recent weeks. After a dismal start, the Bengals suddenly have new life thanks to veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, who's managed to stabilize the offense and keep their playoff hopes alive while Joe Burrow recovers from injury. With momentum building in Cincinnati, it's becoming less and less likely that the Bengals would consider moving a key piece like Hendrickson, not when they're trying to stay competitive in the AFC race. That leaves the Cowboys in a tough spot. They need help desperately both against the run and in the pass rush, but the top targets, may not even be on the market. Dallas' run defense has been shredded in recent weeks, with opponents gashing them up the middle and breaking tackles in the open field. The lack of discipline, poor gap assignments, and misreads have made it clear that this defense is missing that interior enforcer, a player like Simmons who can anchor the front line and stop the bleeding. Meanwhile, the pass rush has been equally disappointing. Since trading away Micah Parsons, Dallas has failed to generate consistent pressure. Quarterbacks have too much time in the pocket, and the secondary, no matter how talented, can't hold up forever. But here's where it gets interesting. Dallas is actually equipped to make a blockbuster move if they choose to. The Cowboys have extra draft capital from the Micah Parsons trade, giving them flexibility and leverage at the negotiation table. That means they could realistically make an aggressive offer without completely mortgaging their future. The only question is whether Jerry Jones is truly willing to pull the trigger. Historically, Jones has been both bold and hesitant at the same time, a paradox that frustrates fans. He loves the spotlight of big names and dramatic deals, but he's also been known to hesitate when it comes to actually parting with high-value draft picks. Still, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Cowboys' season is hanging in the balance. If they lose their next few games and fall further below .500, then there's little reason to expect any significant moves. But if they can string together a couple of wins and stay within striking distance of the playoff picture, that's when things could get exciting. A trade for a player like Jeffery, Simmons, or Trey Hendrickson would not only boost their defensive power but also send a message to the entire locker room that the front office still believes in this team and is willing to fight for the postseason. Around the league, there's a growing sense that Jerry Jones might finally be ready to go big again. It's been years since the Cowboys made a truly seismic in-season move, but with fan pressure mounting and the team's weaknesses laid bare, the timing might be right. Some insiders even speculate that if Simmons and Hendrickson are off the table, the Cowboys could pivot to other high-impact defenders who might become available as the deadline approaches, perhaps from struggling teams looking to shed salary or collect picks. That means names like Brian Burns from Carolina or Max Crosby from Las Vegas could surface if Dallas decides to explore all avenues. The Cowboys' defensive identity has always been built around star power, and right now, they're missing that spark. Micah Parsons' departure left a void that no one has been able to fill, and while players like DeMarcus Lawrence and Osa Odigizua have shown flashes, it hasn't been enough. Opponents aren't afraid of Dallas' defense the way they used to be. The swagger is gone. The intensity is gone. What the Cowboys need right now is not just a trade, they need a tone setter. Someone who can walk into that locker room and change the energy instantly. Of course, all of this speculation depends on performance. The Cowboys' next 3 games could decide everything. If they come out flat and lose momentum, expect Jerry Jones to stay quiet at the deadline. But if they fight their way back, win 2 of the next 3, and stay alive in the NFC wildcard race, then buckle up because a blockbuster could be coming. Jones knows time is running out. The NFC is wide open this year, with several top teams dealing with injuries and inconsistency. If Dallas can get the right piece, they could easily vault themselves back into contention. There's also an emotional element here. Jerry Jones is 82 years old, and he's made it clear he wants another Super Bowl before he steps away. That kind of urgency could push him to finally take the kind of risk he's often avoided. Trading high picks for a proven defensive star might not be the long-term play, but for Jones, it could be the right-now move that reignites his team and restores hope in the fanbase. For Cowboys fans, the anticipation is building. The team has all the ingredients to make a splash: the need, the assets, and the opportunity. Now it comes down to courage and timing. Will Jerry Jones step up and pull the trigger before November 4th? Or will the Cowboys watch another trade deadline come and go with nothing but rumors to show for it? One thing's for sure, the NFL world is watching closely, and whatever happens in the next few weeks could define the Cowboys' entire season. If Dallas really wants to compete, they can't afford to wait. The defense needs help now, not later. The front office needs to make a statement, the players need to believe again, and the fans need a reason to hope. Whether it's Jeffery, Simmons, Trey, Hendrickson, or someone else entirely, the Cowboys have to act. Because in this league, hesitation kills and the window to make a difference is closing fast. Thanks for watching, and if you're as excited as we are to see how this Cowboys trade drama unfolds, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Big moves could be coming to Dallas, and you won't want to miss a single second of it.